Fellow South Africans, I greet you all, humbled by the task before us. Lord bless Africa, Nkosi Sikelel' Africa. May her glory be lifted high, maluphakamiswe uphondo lwayo. Hear our prayers. Lord bless us, your children. Lord, we ask you to protect our nation, intervene and end all conflicts. Protect us, protect our nation, protect South Africa. South Africa, from the blue of our skies, from the depths of our seas, over our everlasting mountains, where the echoing cracks resound. Sound the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. I am liable to render service in the Defence Force by virtue of a military service contract with the Defence Force. I may not refuse to render such service. I act against corruption in terms of Section 56 of the Constitution to bring this evidence or information before the National Assembly. An Act of Parliament in terms of Milestone 1 of the South African Defence Review 2014 obligates me to arrest the decline in critical capabilities through immediate directed interventions. I am further obligated by the statutory principles in exercising any power or performing any duty in terms of the Defence Act. Regard the formulation and execution of defence policy is subject to the authority of Parliament and the National Executive. My primary object is to defend and protect the Republic, its people, and its territorial integrity. Remote communication is part of our daily lives during this COVID-19 pandemic that threatens our existence. I employ this video to fulfill an obligation imposed by the provisions of Section 195(1)(g) of the Constitution, mandating transparency to be fostered by providing the public with timely, accessible, and accurate information. On 24 February 2021, at a place of new beginnings, in defense and protection of the Constitution of the law, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, I, 99004046 MC Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Mangolele, took over as President of the Republic of South Africa pending the dissolution of the 6th Parliament before expiry of its term, as obligated by the provisions of Section 50 of the Constitution. Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa is equal before the law. He must answer a sworn statement written on 24 February 2021. The Chief of the South African National Defence Force, General Roswane Mapoanya, is in possession of a copy of the said sworn statement. While the original is with Mr. Saunders, acting as head of Centre Pollsmoor Medium A. Many reasons may be employed as to why it is taking this long for the Defence Force to act. The bottom line is that criminal activity, corruption, apartheid, and misconduct is sustained. As Security of the Republic, I reflect the resolve of South Africans, as individuals, and as a nation, to live as equal, to live in peace and harmony, to be free from fear and want, and to seek a better life for all. The resolve to live in peace and harmony precludes any South African citizen from participating in armed conflict nationally or internationally, except as provided for in the terms of the Constitution or national legislation. I pursue national security in compliance with the law, including international law. National security is subject to the authority of Parliament and the National Executive, whom I summon to an extraordinary sitting to conduct special business. Gross violation of the Constitution or the law, gross misconduct, or inability to perform the functions of office is unlawfully and intentionally sustained to keep the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa in office. The South African National Defence Force is caused to sustain criminal activity, corruption, apartheid, and misconduct. It is unlawful to sustain criminal activity, corruption, apartheid, and misconduct only to hide behind positions. The defense force is the last line of defense when all organs of state fail, and it does not tolerate criminal activity, corruption, apartheid, and misconduct. Any person who induces or attempts to induce any member of the defense force to neglect or to act in conflict with his or her duty to the defense force is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to a fine or imprisonment for a period not exceeding 5 years as obligated in terms of Section 104(11) of the Defense Act 42 of 2002. In terms of subsection 10 in the same statute, any person who obstructs or interferes with the defense force in the execution of its duties in terms of the Defense Act or the Constitution is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to a fine or imprisonment for a period not exceeding 25 years. I have diligently and without delay performed all constitutional obligations. General Mapuanya is not doing same. Our reality as a country is that a syndicate in critical capabilities of states operate opposite to the law. This is accepted as a norm and imposed upon us. We cannot accept to live a lie as a country. The people employed to execute constitutional obligation in organs of state execute personal relations. This must come to an end. To end this, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa must step down as president. The term president is written as an obligation imposed in terms of Section 83 of the Constitution, which provides that the President is the head of state and head of the national executive, must uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic, and promotes the unity of the nation and that which will advance the Republic. Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa did not act diligently, and is a decline in critical capabilities that must be arrested through immediate directed interventions. To uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic includes to appreciate the obligation imposed in terms of Section 201(2)(a) of the Constitution that only the President, as head of the national executive, may authorize the employment of the Defense Force in cooperation with the police service. It is true that each time I have been arrested, the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa authorized the employment of the Defense Force in cooperation with the police service. Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa is called to admit or deny this. As much as equality is defined in terms of Section 9 of the Constitution, it simply means that if you can send me to jail, equally so, I can send you to jail. No person is expected to fight with any peace officer performing his or her duties. You cannot fight with the police when they come to arrest you. You can only fight with the person who sent them. Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa allowed a judicial officer to judge himself. No person can be allowed to judge themselves in a court of law. However, this reality prevails as a norm and standard for the exercise of the judicial functions of all courts. Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa accepts it as correct for Chief Justice Mogoeng Mogoeng to judge himself in the Constitutional Court case number 12/2020. I will ask you to allow me to explain this particular reality in the next video. Peace.